Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin. Today we're talking about WildStar going free to play. Surprising absolutely no one. Everyone knew this was coming. Okay, and I'm actually surprised that it took as long as it did for them to announce this. I suppose they were trying to milk their subscribers for every last penny, or more likely they were just trying to figure out exactly how they wanted to do it. You know, make the switch to free to play. We've got some interesting details that we're gonna have a look at in just a second. I want to hear your opinion on that, but first, I want to say that most people predicted that this was going to happen because the age of subscription-based MMOs is over. World of Warcraft's pretty much the last holdout, and even in World of Warcraft you can now buy the WoW tokens in-game gold with relative ease. EVE Online doesn't count. Do not come and tell me about EVE Online, because that is not a real MMO, it's something entirely different. It's in its own genre, category, it's out there. Okay, so EVE Online doesn't count. As long as we've established that. World of Warcraft's the last holdout, still charging money, but World of Warcraft has so much more on offer, along with its 10-year history. Well, 10-plus year history. It's a much longer history, but the game has been out for 10 years, and there's 10 years worth of content for you to go out and experience there. So it's kind of still worth it, even though you can already get it with in-game gold, the subscription. But I mean, WildStar, I was receiving reports, troubling reports, of the game just being empty. Okay, I heard from a lot of people that were still playing every now and then. They still had an active subscription. They were telling me, you know, it was difficult to find groups, guilds were breaking up. The game was on its last legs, so this is something that it truly needed, and it has so much appeal. It has so much going for it. I really think that WildStar could now, with its switch or after its switch to free-to-play, actually be something. Because I think from launch, they must have seen a constant drop. Like it must have just been a downward spiral from the very start. They promised monthly updates, it never happened. There were a lot of issues with the game that weren't getting resolved until, well, it was too late. But this could be it. You know, the game has a lot of appeal. It's super colorful and fun looking. I know they were advertising it as mega hardcore and hardcore raiding, hardcore combat, hardcore this, hardcore that. That was a mistake, by the way, and that's how they advertised it. But what I honestly think is the appeal is the fact that it's so colorful and fun. The world that the game is set in is so vibrant. It just looks like a blast. You look at the trailers and stuff that they've released, it looks really, really cool. It looks like something you'd want to try out, but maybe not something you'd want to pay for. I don't know. I think that the world and the characters in it and the interesting and varied and unique races that they've got, that should be enough to make it a successful free-to-play game. Now, that said, speaking of free-to-play, they're going to have a loyalty reward system for people who have subscribed from the very start, which I think is a little unfair. Apparently you need to have been subscribed from the day the game released to get this really cool mount that they're showing off. It's some other Mechano Spider or something. But if you had any other form of subscription from June last year, I think is when the game released, then you still get some other extras or bonuses. So you still get free stuff, and the game is still going to have a subscription system in place. It's just going to be optional. So there's going to be the free-to-play system, then there are going to be signature players who will get a bunch of bonuses. Okay, so the signature players will be getting extra character slots, costume slots, personal bank slots, and more decor items on their home plot. Now, it's important to note, now that I've just said that they're going to have a system in the game. It's been announced already. I saw it in an interview earlier. That is the same as Guild Wars 2, where you can trade stuff you pick up in-game. So there's going to be a currency that you pick up in-game for items from the real money store. So it's the same as Guild Wars gold to gems conversion. You can convert your gold in Guild Wars to gems and then buy stuff from the real money store with the gems. Same thing. That's super important to note. And I'm so happy that they're adding that. Incredibly happy. It's not something that Elder Scrolls Online has, and a lot of other games out there. So you will be able to get more character slots, get more costume slots, get more decor on your home plot, all that stuff. You will be able to get all of that as a free-to-play player. Super important. Makes me incredibly happy. Okay, that means that free-to-play players can actually get everything if they play enough. Who knows how much? Maybe you'll earn it at a incredibly slow pace, but that doesn't matter. The fact that it's there is all that matters. Now, there's a long list of extra stuff here that signature players will get or get more of if they pay that monthly subscription fee. So they can have more active auctions. They can join more circles. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Their crafting has lower risk. Also don't really know what that means. They have a 10% bonus to get extra procs from crafting. Their commodities exchange work orders are much higher. Same thing as the auction house, I think. They get priority access on tickets. They get priority access on queues. They earn in-game currency at a 25% increased rate. Not a big deal. 10% bonus material proc chance from gathering. Also, not a big deal. I mean, if you think about it, you could just gather one extra node as a free-to-play player, and you'll be on the same level. You can kill 1 or 2 extra mobs and you'll have the same amount of currency. Now, here's the stuff that I don't quite understand. You can't create a guild, and you can't invite to a guild if you're a free-to-play player. That's a little weird, that's a little iffy. That's like on the verge of being unacceptable. I don't like that, personally, but maybe they'll be smart enough to add a Guildmaster's license. Something that you can add to your account as a free-to-play player from the in-game store. Maybe you can buy it for a once-off $10. Or you can buy it with that in-game currency that I mentioned earlier. That would be cool. Okay, that would be perfectly okay. Now, another weird thing is that only the subscription people get access to the PTR. What is that saying? They only trust the opinions of people that pay real money? I mean, I suppose in some cases it makes sense, but whatever. Okay, reputation. 50% extra from combat, 25% extra from quests if you subscribed. 50% cooldown reduction on your wake here. Don't know what that means. You earn extra rested XP. Only 50% extra. It's not that much. 25% all round extra experience. And then finally another one that I think is a little controversial. You cannot create or invite to war parties, which I think is raids, as a free-to-play player. I don't know. I don't know if I like the raids and the guild thing, but all the rest actually sounds okay. Now there's one more thing. One more thing that I read somewhere here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Here we go. All updates will be available to both free and signature players. However, we do plan to include optional purchases with all new content. We may also offer some new content and full expansion packs exclusively for purchase in the future. Now, that is okay if it's like, for instance, Guild Wars style, where you buy an expansion, once-off payment, bam, you get upgraded to it, you get access to the new stuff. But it's not okay if they, like, give subscribers access to new content exclusively just because they subscribed, or if they give them access early or something like that. It all depends on how they decide to do it. But all in all, hey, I think this is pretty okay. It's decent. It is a good compromise. You know, it's much better than paying a full subscription fee every month, the free-to-play system that they got in place. And I'm going to have a look at it. I'll link it below for you guys. Okay, so you can browse through that list. Tell me if anything looks fishy to you over there. And most importantly, I suppose, just tell me if it's something that you are now interested in. Has this piqued your curiosity? I've always loved WildStar and the idea of it. I like the combat. Yes. Even with our terrible latency, it was really fun to play. I loved the movement system in the game. The, are they called paths? I'm not sure, where you choose like the adventurer thing where you gotta like climb and do jumping puzzles and stuff. That was all really fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I did. So I'm excited to jump back in there as a free-to-play player to see how Carbine are going to be treating us. Us players that don't want to spend money on their game. Again, let me know what you think about all of this below. Tell me if you see something that I perhaps missed? Have you been playing all this time? Have you been one of those people that have been subscribed since the very beginning? Is WildStar your game? Your go-to MMO? I think it's going to be hustling and bustling, super busy once it goes free to play. There's no date yet. They're going to have a beta for the free to play system, which leads me to believe that there's going to be extra content and stuff with it. Or at least big enough changes to warrant a beta. But it's all pretty exciting. So let me know everything you want to let me know. Tell me what server you're playing on maybe, so that when the time comes, I know where to go. You can do that too. Because again, I'm keen. Okay, I did enjoy WildStar. It was a worthwhile experience for me. It was time well spent back during the beta. So I'd love to see how it's grown. Again, check back here soon for more. Let me know what you think. Give this one a like, share it, and do all that good stuff. Most importantly though, happy WildStar going free to play eventually. I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen. Hopefully really soon, but happy that.